20th of October, 1951, dear Miss Hanff. First of all, let me apologize for the peeps. I was honestly under the impression that it was the complete Braybrook edition, and I can understand how you must have felt when you found your favorite passages missing. I promise to look at the next reasonably priced copy that comes along, and if it contains the passage you mentioned in your letter, I will send it. I am glad to say I have managed to dig out a few books for you from a private library that we have just bought. There is a Leigh Hunt, which includes most of the essays you like, also a Vulgate New Testament, which I hope will be okay. I have also included a dictionary to the Vulgate, which you might find useful. There is also a volume of 20th century English essays, though it contains only one by Hilary Belloc and nothing to do with bathrooms. About eggs, I have talked to the rest of the inmates here, and we all seem to think that the fresh ones would be nicer. As you say, they would not last so long, but they would taste so much better. We are all hoping for better things after the election. If Churchill and company get in, as I think and hope they will, it will cheer everyone up immensely. With best wishes, yours sincerely, Frank Dole, for Mark's Show.
November 2nd, 1951. Dear Speed, you dizzy me rushing Leigh Hunt and the Vulgate over here whiz-bang like that. You probably don't realize it, but it's hardly more than 2 years since I ordered it. You keep going at this rate, you're going to give yourself a heart attack. That's mean. You go to so much trouble for me, and I never even thank you. I just needle you. It's mean. I really am grateful for all the pains you take for me. I enclose $3. I'm sorry about the top one. I spilled coffee on it. It wouldn't sponge off, but I think it's still good. You can still read it. Congratulations on Churchill and Company. Hope he loosens up your rations a little. Is your name Welsh? H.H.
7th December 1951, dear Miss Hanff. You will be glad to know that the 2 boxes of eggs and the tins of tongue have all arrived safely, and once again we all wish to thank you most sincerely for your extreme generosity. Mr. Martin, one of the oldest members of our staff, has been on the sick list for some time, and we therefore let him have the lion's share of the eggs, 1 whole box full in fact, and of course he was delighted to get them. The tins of tongue look very inviting and will be a welcome addition to our larders. In my case, it will be put to one side for a special occasion. We are sending you a little gift for Christmas. It is a linen tablecloth made by an elderly neighbor of ours, and we do hope you will not have to pay any duty on it. We will mark it Christmas gift and keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, we hope you will like it and accept it with our sincere best wishes for Christmas and the coming year. My name certainly is not of Welsh origin. As it is pronounced to rhyme with the French word Noël, I think there may be a possibility that it originated in France. Yours sincerely, Frank Doel.
February 9th, 1952. Sloth. I could rot over here before you'd send me anything to read. I ought to run straight down to Brentano's, which I would if anything I wanted was in print. You may add Walton's Lives to the list of books you aren't sending me. It's against my principles to buy a book I haven't read. It's like buying a dress you haven't tried on. But you can't even get Walton's Lives in a library over here. You can look at it. They have it down at the 42nd Street branch. But not to take home, the lady said to me, shocked. Read it here. Just sit right down in room 315 and read the whole book without a cup of coffee, a cigarette, or air. Doesn't matter. Q quoted enough of it so I know I'll like it. Anything he liked, I'll like, except if it's fiction. I never could get interested in things that didn't happen to people who never lived. What do you do with yourself all day? Sit in the back of the store and read? Why don't you try selling a book to somebody? Miss Hanff to you. I'm Helene, only to my friends. P.S. Tell the girls in Nora if all goes well, they're getting nylons for Lent.
14th February 1952, dear Helene. I quite agree it is time we drop the miss when writing to you. I am not really so standoffish as you may have been led to believe, but as copies of letters I have written to you go into an office file, the formal address seemed more appropriate. But as this letter has nothing to do with books, there will be no copy. We are quite at a loss to know how you manage the nylons, which appeared this noon as if by magic. All I can tell you is that when I came back from lunch, they were on my desk with a note reading, from Helene Hanff. No one seemed to know how or when they arrived. The girls are very thrilled, and I believe they are planning to write to you themselves. I am sorry to say that our friend, Mr. George Martin, who has been ill for some time, passed away in hospital last week. He was with the firm a great number of years, so there will be a loss. And what with the king dying so suddenly as well, we are rather a mournful crowd at the moment. I don't see how we can ever repay you for your many kind gifts. All I can say is, if you ever decide to make the trip to England, there will be a bed for you at 37 Oakfield Court for as long as you care to stay. With all best wishes from all of us. Frank Dolan.
March 3rd, 1952. Oh my, I do bless you for that Walton's Lives. It's incredible that a book published in 1840 can be in such perfect condition more than 100 years later. Such beautiful, mellow, rough-cut pages they are. I do feel for poor William T. Gordon, who wrote his name in it in 1841. What a crummy lot of descendants he must have, to sell it to you casually for nothing. Boy, I'd like to have run barefoot through their library just before they sold it. Fascinating book to read. Did you know John Donne eloped with the boss's high-born daughter and landed in the Tower Fort and starved and then got religion? My word. Now listen. I'm enclosing a $5 bill. That Lives makes me very dissatisfied with my Angler, which I bought before I met you. It's one of those hard-faced American classics for the masses edition. Isaac just hates it. He says he's not going to go around looking like that for the rest of my life. So use the extra $2.50 for a nice English Angler, please. You better watch out. I'm coming over there in '53 if Ellery is renewed. I'm going to climb up that Victorian book ladder and disturb the dust on the top shelves and everybody's decorum. Or didn't I ever tell you I write arty murders for Ellery Queen on television? All my scripts have artistic backgrounds. Ballet, concert hall, opera, and all the suspects and corpses are cultured. Maybe I'll do one about the rare book business in your honor. Do you want to be a murderer or the corpse?
17th April 1952. You will be pleased to know that we have just purchased a private library which includes a very nice copy of Walton's Complete Angler and hope to have it sent to you next week. Your Ellery Queen scripts sound rather fun. I wish we could have the chance of seeing some of them on our TV over here, as it wants a bit of livening up. Our TV, I mean, not your scripts. Nora and all here join me in sending our best wishes. Yours faithfully, Frank Dolan.
May 11th, 1952. Dear Frank, meant to write you the day the Angler arrived, just to thank you. The woodcuts alone are worth 10 times the price of the book. What a weird world we live in, when so beautiful a thing can be owned for life, for the price of a ticket to a Broadway movie palace, or 1/50th the cost of having one tooth capped. Well, if your books cost what they're worth, I couldn't afford them. You'll be fascinated to learn, from me that hates novels, that I finally got around to Jane Austen and went out of my mind over Pride and Prejudice, which I can't bring myself to take back to the library till you find me a copy of my own. Regards to Nora and the wage slaves, H.H.
26th August 1952. Dear Helene, we have about 30 volumes of Loeb classics come in just a few days ago, but alas, no Horace, Sappho, or Catullus. I am taking a couple of weeks' holiday commencing September 1st, but as I have just bought a car, we are completely broke, so we'll have to take things a little easy. Nora has a sister who lives by the sea, so we are hoping she will take pity on us and invite us to stay with her. It is my first car, so we are all very thrilled with it, even though it is an old 1939 model. So long as it gets us to places without breaking down too often, we shall be quite happy. With all good wishes, Frank Dolan.